Welcome back to Twin Flame Psychic 1111. I'm Karen. Today's reading is looking into their true feelings for you today. There's 4 sets of cards for you to choose from. Set of cards number 1 is the Ace of Pentacles and the Amber. Set of cards number 2 is the Ace of Cups and the pink crystal. Set of cards number 3 is the Sun and the blue crystal. And set of cards number 4 is the Ace of Wands and the green crystal. So take some time to tune into the energies of these. See which one resonates with you the most. It's fine to be drawn to more than one of these as well. You can pause the video right now if you need to, and then we'll get straight into the reading. Welcome to set of cards number 1. You've chosen the Ace of Pentacles and the Amber. So this is their true feelings for you today. We have the 7 of Pentacles. So I see that this person is going through great transformation, okay? I feel as though since meeting you, there's been a complete restructuring. Almost, I'm seeing like the Tower card, or almost like a demolition of a lot of outdated versions of themselves, outdated perceptions. Like they're basically having this immense spiritual awakening. I see a lot of crumbling of the old, and that like circulating around them. There's a lot of upheaval, there's a lot of energy circulating around them, old energies, old thoughts. And since they've met you, they're having totally different perceptions of reality, of themselves, of love. This is also great activation, because I see this as them observing their life, them observing everything that they've built up so far in their life. And I always see the 7 of Pentacles as a new chapter. Traditionally, and in most decks, one of the pentacles is they have near their feet, which is like planting the seeds in a new direction. This is an unstoppable transformation, okay? Immense awakening. And I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling like the reconstructing energy. Things are being realigned. This is an activation. It feels like the energy of obsession, but it isn't. It's like their soul is just so magnetized towards you. Their soul is activated. Their soul is magnetized into much deeper versions of themselves. Their soul, that which was lost and forgotten or numb or in the background, in the subconscious, dormant, has been activated. It's come to life. It's the soul, their soul blueprint. They're remembering who they are, who they were always supposed to be, you know, so to speak. And this is so profound. So they are taken into these energies. It's not just an obsession. It's not just magnetism. They are literally experiencing this great demolition of like old outdated versions of themselves. And this is the birth really coming into focus, the birth of their soul. This is like self-actualization or actualization of the soul. The soul is becoming so powerful. This is the presence that they feel. Their aura is filled up with this sheer intensity of their own soul. Their own soul is no longer as repressed. It's taking up space in their aura, in their awareness. So they're contemplating, they're going inwards. It's just happening so naturally. There's so much rearranging going on. Yeah, this internal demolition, it's very like profound. Like you've made them become so aware. Their intuition has come on board so much. Interesting, the Chariot. There's a lot of movement of their energies. This is the soul really activating within them, coming to life within them. The soul circulating around all aspects of them. Their mind, I see like this, the soul is rushing around the neural pathways in their mind. The soul is rushing through all of the cells in their body, their energetic body as well, their aura. This is a powerful magnetism as well. This is the yin and the yang, the black and the white sphinx here, or in this case it's the pharaoh. This is, you represent like the aspects of their soul that was just dormant within them, masculine and feminine. This is that great soul complement where you really activate the divine feminine within them as well. They could really activate the divine masculine within you. Like you could feel deep familiarity with each other. Like we all, if we're feminine, we all have like this inner masculine energy and vice versa. So they could really remind you of yourself in many ways, like those masculine aspects of yourself. And you really remind them of that subconscious inner divine feminine within them as well. And when you've met, it's like it's activated. You've come into balance. You're coming into wholeness. It's creating this yin yang balance. And the Chariot is all about powerful forwards movement. This is forwards movement in terms of much more accelerated rates of consciousness, rates of awakening happening. This is a major path unfolding, very spiritual path unfolding that you're traveling down together. This is a oneness. I see the Chariot as the infinity symbol, the masculine on one side, the feminine. But this movement of energy, it's like the masculine that they are, their energy of that masculinity is moving into you and your femininity is moving into them. You bring each other back into balance. You activate that which was dormant. You bring each other to life in these ways. There is so much movement. I feel like this person's introspecting. There's a lot of integration going on. There's so much going on within them. There's so much going on behind the scenes on deep psychological levels, deep soul levels, deep subconscious levels, and much more conscious awareness as well is happening. So this is all of the energies I see moving, swirling around them. It looks like a storm. There's been a demolition of old, outdated versions of themselves, and the crumbled rubble is like what is moving around them. And a lot is dissipating, a lot is dissolving. They've totally transformed their frequency, their vibration. They're really much more anchored into their soul. And this is what is creating so much more movement. It's like all of this outdated version of themselves, you know, not all of them, but a lot of things that have numbed them or kept their soul dormant, kept them in lower levels of consciousness. A lot of that has come up. It's crumbled. It was like a thick wall. It was like a barrier around them, a barrier around their perception. They couldn't see beyond that density in many ways, or a lot of movement was just happening more subconsciously before they met you. But now a lot of that has crumbled, so that has revealed. It's like an opening, a great opening to the divine. It's revealed the truth. It's like a breaking down of density, which was a block, and they're feeling this immense energy of the divine, the infinite, their soul, their higher self, really grounding into themselves and expanding them so much. They want your connection to progress, together. They want to work as a team. This is the masculine and feminine of both of you. Definitely this new path they're traveling down, there's like an eagerness because they're feeling so invigorated. They're feeling alive, like you bring them to life. This is so exciting to them as well, because that great expansion of awareness that has opened up to them, that it's grounding into them. It's all kinds of downloads, all kinds of soul memories that are downloading into them. It's nature coming back. There was like a dam, because in this world they purposely tried to cut us off from the flow of the infinite through mental manipulation, you know, manipulation of our perception about who we really are and what reality is. But this is a love so great. This is an ancient love that is aligned with the core of your being, your souls. It's from that aspect. It's from a whole deeper dimension, this love. True, it's from truth. It is truth. So it's like this wrecking ball that's come into their life and demolished all of these blocks. The love so powerful. It's like forced this great expansion, this great activation. And they're feeling very motivated, energized. You know, their whole trajectory in life has taken on this much greater meaning. This is like a lot of accomplishments, a lot of success in their life, a lot of positive seeds they've planted in their life. But now everything that they are doing, and they're looking back at their life and realizing as well that everything that they have done and everything that they're doing has a much greater spiritual soul level meaning to it. They're seeing why a lot of things have happened in their life. They're understanding more consciously that drive within them was always coming from their soul, like a soul purpose, to be of great help, great value in this world. But now they're consciously much more aware of this, and there's this great energy. They want to move forwards with your energy, okay? So this great soul level motivation, it's so instinctual, but it's like everything they're doing, creating all the positive seeds that they're planting, you know, their goals, their purpose, their drive is much more consciously centered around this, knowing that they have a powerful soul purpose. And they always consider you. There's this energy of the masculine and feminine here. They always consider you, like everything they are doing is in consideration of your soul, your presence in their life. You are each other's muse. You represent the divine. You represent the divine's love for you. You are the messengers of the divine because you hold the divinity. You activate the divinity, the divine, the infinite God within each other. So they are doing a lot of things because they're considering you. They want you to recognize them, recognize everything that they're doing, recognize this deep meaning that they are sowing, weaving into everything that they are doing. It's like on a deep, deep instinctual level of the soul, they're doing things to foster greater closeness and oneness with you as well. And it's just so natural. It's the soul. They feel this great oneness with you. This is a very powerful, established bond, connection between you. So everything they're doing holds deeper meaning. Everything makes them feel more excited, more. It gives them more drive, you know. More, what's the word? I think I just used the word motivation, didn't I? But let's look at some other cards. Queen of Wands. Eight of Cups. So Queen of Wands. This is like gender neutral, you know. This could be a masculine with this Queen of Wands energy. It's the energies. So again, yeah, this is immense fiery energy. Like, they are so happy. They feel, even if your connection isn't, it's quite new, or it's only been, in the grand scheme of things, it hasn't been that long, like since you've met each other. There's already this great fire that is lit within them. There's already this great sense of fulfillment that they've been feeling from the start. I want to say the start of your bond was like this huge lightning bolt, this huge activation and expansion, and then filled with the divine, their aura filled up, and it feels like deep fulfillment, deep wholeness, deep meaning, depth in so many ways. Depth of emotion, yes, but it's way beyond that. Depths, it's like ancient memories. It's like a wholeness. It's fulfilling. It fills them up. It's very nourishing to their soul. So this is that great enthusiasm, that great passion, excitement. And again, there's just so much motivation, so much drive. This could be someone who's naturally very driven, naturally has like this fiery energy within them to create, to express their soul, express who they are in this world, leave a legacy, I want to say. But now it's like taken on this whole other level of depth, like a spiritual legacy. They have this desire. It's beyond a desire, it's a drive from the soul. It's the soul purpose, why we incarnate here. They want to plant seeds of so much positivity, be that positive ripple effect in this world, in the collective, through emanating out their soul, putting their heart and soul into everything. They're able to access these deeper levels of themselves, to be able to do this on a deeper level, and it just fills them with so much excitement. They also do see you as this Queen of Wands. There is a mirroring here. There's a balance, the same frequency, a soul agreement as well, and all of this coming together. It's the genius of the divine, the nature of the divine. It creates like a supernova. Your energies are opening into the depths of your beings. So they see you as this great motivation, this great inspiration, their muse. Like I said, they really look up to you. You know, like I'm seeing now like a gladiator on the chariot, and then you're the queen sort of onlooking, you know. I just got that image, seeing these two cards next to each other. So it's like they feel really seen. They're trying to impress you, but I can't think of the words. It's way beyond that. This is the energy, the activation you bring out in each other to be the greatest versions of yourselves. And they feel like you are someone who is truly able to observe them. They've somewhat put you on a pedestal, but they like that. It creates that tension, it creates that magnetism. Them, you know, the desire to be the greatest version of themselves. To step forwards in greater depth. So 8 of Cups. This is them walking away from that old timeline. Like, you've just really, really sparked this deep soul level excitement within them. Because they do feel as though they're expanding. And you've opened up like this immense gateway of awakening, of expansion. So now they're growing into that. They can expand into that, and it's infinite. So there's infinite possibilities for growth and expansion. And this is very exciting for the soul, because the nature of the soul is always wanting this movement, this freedom to grow, to develop, to evolve. The soul is all about progression and movement and living in the moment. They're absolutely relishing this, okay? Being able to be present in the present moment, in the now. So this walking away energy is, they've completely transformed. I'm telling you, like their old life, there could be, obviously, you know, naturally it's difficult. They're observing their past, they're observing their life, they're observing their decisions, they're observing so many things about themselves and their life, because they've had their eyes wide open now, blasted wide open, so they're able to see themselves, look back at their life and themselves from a high level of consciousness now. And this sheer eagerness and drive and movement, this is them walking towards you. This is them walking, well, not walking, they so instinctually, it was unstoppable, but it's also because of their deep desire and drive and excitement that they've automatically, you know, moved forwards so immensely with you. I'm telling you, they're considering you. Even if you're in a physical separation, they're always considering you, because they want you to see them in their highest version of themselves. They want you to be proud of them. They want you to deeply recognize them and their capabilities from this deeper soul level now. And so that great desire has just rapidly, I feel, moved them into this new timeline, this new way of living, this new way of being, this new way of perceiving. This is like their lifeline. You've come into their life as a lifeline. This path here is a bridge to the divine. It's a bridge to their soul. It's a bridge to their inner child as well. Deeper aspects of themselves just really coming to life. And this occupies their mind, their heart, their soul, their vibration, their aura. So much, okay? That I'm seeing like their old version of their life is falling away, in terms of they're just hyper like focused on this brand new beginning and this brand new way of being, and the love, and how the love that they feel for you is just so energizing. It's like their soul, even if they didn't consciously realize it in the past, their soul was in need of like this lifeline into this whole new way of living and being and perceiving and feeling and experiencing. And they're just so drawn to you. They're so magnetized. They're so attracted to you on all levels, on these really, really deep levels. You've come into their life to help them remember who they really are. The 8 of Pentacles, custard donut. 8 of Pentacles, yeah, this is hard work. This is somebody who is naturally very hard working. I see the Chariot as this immense drive within them, but they're amazed, okay? They really look up to you. They see you as this queen energy. They love your confidence and self-esteem with the sunflower here. That is your solar plexus chakra. The black cat is your intuition, your independence as well, kind of like that black cat energy. But I'm just noticing the custard here and the yellow. Again, that's the solar plexus chakra. You shine so brightly, okay? You've come in, I just saw an image of a light bulb. You came in to be this great big cosmic light bulb moment for them, switching on their soul. They were in darkness. I'm seeing a room that was dark. They didn't realize it fully. They were operating, it's like their mind was very focused. They've always had this powerful drive, and they've created so much to be proud of, okay? But it's like their mind was very focused on a certain sort of bandwidth. But since they've met you, like I said, you're like the light bulb, this huge, great cosmic light bulb going off in their mind to illuminate so much more high levels of consciousness. They're perceiving themselves, their self and reality and everything from these immense depths. And they're really mind blown, I feel. They really look up to you. They see you someone as this powerful spiritual leader, as the Queen of Wands here. And they love like being so drawn to you. This is just such a powerful magnetism. Like they love that because it makes them feel alive. Like the great soul level romance is very enticing, very exciting. It's freshness, it's newness. They'd outgrown being in the dark in certain ways. It was their time to walk through the door, walk through like the gateway, and experience the immense delights of the infinite possibilities that have now opened up to them and presented, the divine has presented itself to them in profound ways because they were very much ready for that. They're working hard on your bond. I'm noticing there's 2 donuts here. So again, that's like your partnership. They're working very hard. 8 is the infinity symbol, telling you they feel more motivated than ever. And I keep hearing like soul legacy, planting so many positive seeds in this world. Their spiritual, divine mission. They're mind blown. They're making sense on deeper levels. Their life. Yeah, they're glowing so bright. Let your light shine. This, you know, that light bulb going off is them shining. They've walked through a door. Again, I'm seeing like a pantry for some reason, and it was in the dark, and they walked in and they walked through the door. It's a walk-in like pantry, and they turn the light bulb on, and that represents all of the goods in this pantry, represents all of this subconscious truth that was lost or forgotten, or they just weren't aware of. You've come in to give them this greater perspective, and you make them filled with this high levels of self-esteem. And again, it's about you deeply recognizing them on a soul level. I feel like this person, they have got a lot of recognition for who they truly are and everything that they've achieved, and coming from a really big heart and all things like that. But now they are understanding that you are recognizing them on much deeper levels. Let your light shine. There's a protective energy as well that this person feels, especially with the armor on here, like that gladiator sort of energy. There's a strength about this person, like a protectiveness, and this is what I also mean about them always like considering you. They want to create some sort of stability or some sort of foundation they're working on, and they're building and planting seeds to grow that, because they want you to feel safe to be your true self, safe for you to let your light shine. They want you to know that they deeply recognize you as well, that they find you incredible. They could see that there's a part of you perhaps where you don't really understand how incredible you are. Like you could have been astonished in really positive ways. Like it could have been this amazing but astonishing sort of surprise that they are so drawn to you and so activated by you, so affected by you and your energies. and they could probably see that within you, that you don't, in certain ways, you don't recognize your brilliance as this very powerful soul, and everything that you do, all how hardworking you are, all of the positive seeds that you plant in the world, in your life. See you on the other side. This is descending into some sort of nightclub here. See you on the other side. So what I'm really feeling with this is, it's a couple of things. There is the energy of they're moving deep into their inner world. This is what's opened up to them. An awareness of self, an awareness of deep layers of themselves that they weren't aware of before, consciously anyway. And there's, you know, inside that nightclub there'd be a lot of noise. There looks like there's all confetti. There'd be bright flashing lights everywhere. A lot of people, a lot of movement, a lot of energy. This is the energy I see. Like, it's very invigorating. It's very exciting. It's this great cosmic upheaval and complete restructuring of themselves to become more aligned with the soul. So there's a great level of energy and things going on all kinds of levels. But then there will come a time where I see them in awe, okay? They're in amazement. Their senses are very much heightened. There's a lot of sensuality. There's a lot of things going on. And again, it makes them feel alive. They're absolutely fascinated. They're like sinking their teeth into all of this. They're observing all of this, experiencing, feeling all of this. And it's amazing. It's so invigorating. It's so exciting. It's a newness. It's a freshness. It's a whole new way of being. But there will come a time, see you on the other side, where I'm imagining steps the other side leading back up to the surface level, you know, back up to the street and out, you know, exiting the club the other side. And to me, it's representing there will be a time where things will be much more integrated. It won't be so much going on like everywhere. It will be a more calmer energy, as over time they've integrated a lot of this. But there is this energy of so much going on right now, so much cosmic divine upheaval to shed a lot of things that are to be left in the past, an older version of themselves. And through that shedding, it leaves the room for them to anchor in or align with this higher timeline or higher version of themselves, integrating that into their being and into their daily life. That's who they're becoming. But also, a very powerful message with the see you on the other side is, in terms of them always considering you and your bond, is that they know that you have an infinite bond. They know that this lifetime, they're really feeling that this lifetime is just like a drop in the ocean compared to how long that your souls have known each other, and the great vastness of your connection way beyond this false matrix and this experience of being a human in this world right now. So everything that they're doing and planting and them considering you is considering like the long haul in terms of beyond this lifetime as well, knowing that your bond will always continue, because this is where they know you from. They remember you on these deep levels from way before this lifetime, way beyond this lifetime. Vulnerable. Yeah, it's not surprising. There's so much going on. There's so much internal divine shake-up, complete restructuring, complete upgrading. You make them feel vulnerable, okay? This could be what astonishes you in certain ways, or what you found to be astonishing, because they're like, I keep feeling like this gladiator sort of energy, very strong, very like powerful energy. Again, that drive, a lot of movement, a lot of creation, a lot of success. But you really like that lightning bolt that blasts through their persona or their walls of defenses. Because there is, you know, we all have that vulnerable inner child. We all have the soul, the vulnerable soul. I mean, the soul is the most powerful aspect of us, but we can feel very vulnerable in this world. So wounds, I do feel like this person has experienced a lot of wounds in their life, and partly this armor that they've created is that self-protective mechanisms. That's definitely part of it. But yeah, you could feel astonished because you break through their armor. You see through their armor. This is why they highly respect you, okay? They really look up to you because you sort of disarm them. And I feel like this is what their heart and soul has been thirsting for, you know, has desperately desired. You know, we all have like these desperate desires of the soul. The soul, deep down within them, has been longing to just be, to just go with the flow, to be free of these defenses and the persona and all of the pressure that goes along with that. You make them feel this deep level of freedom, but naturally they could feel very vulnerable because I feel like they're not used to being free of those defenses or masks or walls. They worry about how you perceive them somewhat, but I do feel like they have this natural confidence as well. Like there's a lot of movement in their life. They take a lot of action in their life because I do feel like there is a part of them that doesn't worry so much about what people think. But, you know, we all have this paradoxes within us. So a part of them does, part of them really doesn't. Memories, you've activated a lot of memories of their own soul. This is the soul, your souls recognizing each other from way beyond this lifetime. But also, and this is you reconnecting them, your bond helping to activate them so they can reconnect with their inner child, their youth. This is what they're longing for as well. This is what's invigorating them. This new powerful wave of goals, dreams, aspirations, everything that they're achieving, like I said, holds this deeper, much deeper meaning now. And they're always considering you because they want to nurture you. They want to be there for you. They want your bond to deepen. They're looking at your photos, I feel, with this camera. As well. This is them reliving a lot of moments that you've shared together, and it could have only been like brief moments for some of you. Maybe you've never really had any sort of deep, intense discussion with each other, but there could be a lot of these moments where there's just this great soul recognition and all of this activation that was happening within those moments. And these moments that they remember, these memories, they're not just normal memories. They remember everything in really, really great, fine detail, I feel. Like they remember how the sunlight was shining on your face, that there was a breeze, how the breeze moved your hair. They remember the warmth, or the coolness of the weather or something. They remember how you looked at them. They remember how that felt. They remember the deep intimacy of your souls communicating in those moments. And they're not just like normal memories, they're like these sacred landmarks, you know, these sacred, it's like a timeline of events or sacred places that they revisit in their mind. They relive these moments because they're missing you, they long for the intimacy. These were very incredibly special moments that you both shared, okay? It was very private moments that any onlookers, they wouldn't understand what was going on, but your souls were in deep communication, and they return to these memories time and time again to feel close to you. And it fuels like this drive within them, it fuels this motivation within them. You know, this is happening on very subconscious levels, but nonetheless it's very powerful, it's very profound. These memories don't fade over time. If anything, they become more vivid, because this is like moments in time. They're like little portals or big portals, big doorways, these memories into the higher dimensions, into, you know, they open them up to the divine source energy that fuels them, their life purpose, their movement, their great transformation that they're going through right now. So if you've appreciated this reading, please consider buying me a hot chocolate by leaving a super thanks comment below. All donations are humbly appreciated. Thank you to everyone who's already donated and sent a super thanks in the comments. It really does mean a lot to me. If this reading has resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye. Welcome to set of cards number 2. You've chosen the Ace of Cups and the pink crystal. So this is their true feelings for you today. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This is really saying to me that this person totally didn't expect to meet you. I feel like neither of you expected this. But with Cupid here, it's like, this is a great big seed. I talk a lot about the Pentacles being planting spiritual seeds, seeds of love, positive seeds, and it growing, it creating great transformation on spiritual levels, sending out love into this world. But this is this great big giant seed. It's a gift from the divine. It was a destined moment, a destined experience that the divine had for this person and for you, okay? But we're talking about their feelings. So this was in the pipeline, or this was in the background, you know, it was waiting in the wings for the perfect moment. It was a soul contract, a soul agreement, this great big gift from the divine. And it's them walking through a door and meeting you, you know, metaphorically speaking, walking through a door into a whole new reality. I want to say this is a great big seed the divine is planting into this person, a blueprint. It's a higher version of themselves. It's an aspect, a profound aspect of their own higher self, which you are very much a part of. You are within their higher self. You're the same soul group, the same soul family. There's light codes, there's oneness of this soul group, very much including you and the spirit guides within this seed, within this pentacle, within this higher aspect, deeper aspect of themselves. And this is, when you met, it was like the divine planted this seed within their psyche, within their soul, within their consciousness, for this amazing, incredible new beginning to grow. A new beginning in love. There's something about this love, it's very spiritual, it's the soul level, and therefore it is and it's meant to be, always has meant to be and will be, this great sense of stability and strength and safety. very grounded energy, stable energy with the pentacles here. And there's all of this joy. The yellow skies here is the loving safety of Source coming in, surrounding this person, surrounding you both in your bond. This is completely life-changing. There's so many transformations that are grounding into this person now. Soul level transformation, soul light codes, you know, higher dimensional light codes. The divine is giving them healing, immense healing. The divine is, through your bond, reaching out to them. This is a bridge, this love, this bond is a bridge to the divine, so that they can absorb, integrate and ground the stability, the love. I feel this is someone deep, deep, deep down at their core. They felt abandoned, rejected, wounded as a child, and therefore isolated, alone, unworthy, afraid, deep down. Maybe it was very hidden, maybe it was buried. Their soul was buried, I'm hearing. This great big seed is like their own soul was buried, but it was buried in the soil, so that it could break through in these profound ways now, at this right time for them. Let's dive deeper. This is an amazing offer from the divine to them, because they were stuck in many ways. This Eight of Wands is all about movement. Eight of Wands is traditionally, they're coming down from the infinite, they're grounding. So this is great communication. Your bond has made them aware that the divine is communicating with them, offering them something real, offering something that's deeply fulfilling, because it's bringing who they really are, which was dormant or numb, bringing who they really are back to life, or more to life than ever before in this lifetime. Because it's like they were stuck, because they're standing here. It also reminds me of like the Two of Wands, standing on the balcony looking over to the infinite waters, the infinite skies, but feeling stuck where they are somewhat. That feeling stuck was a lot of things were dormant or just stuck in the subconscious, like who they really are. But now they're coming into great levels of awareness. Right now is a time where they're going inwards, because there's so much, I'm hearing the word reinvention of themselves. There's so much reconstruction happening on these deep core levels within them, as their higher self is grounding into them, activating them, opening up their mind, opening up their memories that are very intuitive. It's a soul knowing. But there's so much is going on that this is a time of them kind of like in a pause, because they're just observing so many different things. Their intuition is really activated. They're really listening, feeling for communication from the divine, communication from you and your soul. There's great telepathy here, because you activate each other's true nature, and souls naturally communicate through telepathy. So it's really powerfully coming on board within them. But they're just observing. It's almost like there's so much going on that they're in complete awe, and they're just like noticing this and seeing that and observing this and that and so many things. This is a lot of downloads, a lot of wisdom, a lot of them having aha moments, them looking back at their life and understanding from a much higher spiritual perspective why certain things have happened. They're looking at decisions they've made. They're looking at their own drive in life and that it was coming from their soul. This is a lot of, I'm telling you, you've crumbled a lot of outdated perceptions of so many different things, of, you know, reality. So this is them observing, introspecting. Some of it is definitely trying to figure out and digest a lot of this newness, new expanded perceptions of reality, of themselves, of love, of all kinds of things. I feel like they look at you and you really represent like this wrecking ball in the most positive way. Like you just crumble a lot of belief systems. Like, I feel this is someone that powerfully believes in you. This isn't an energy of them like questioning things and, you know, doubting. This is them really feeling the validity to your energies, to maybe what you're saying, to what you activate within them. They feel so powerfully this just inner knowing, like you make them understand that which was locked within the subconscious. Maybe you speak about spiritual things and it just makes so much sense. Your words maybe activate things that were locked in the subconscious within them, bringing them into their conscious awareness, and it just makes so much sense. And there is a very heavy element of it making sense because of them feeling intuitively. They're resonating intuitively with what you're saying or with what you're activating within them. They're longing for you as well. This movement is a lot of merging, communicating, a lot of reconstructing together. There's a oneness, there's a merging of souls. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes between you both as well. And it's like an instinct. There may not be any like physical communication between you, or you're in a physical separation, but instinctually there's this like sort of hermit mode going inwards because the souls are just taken over and there's this profound merging. Let's look at some other cards. Just said 11 minutes exactly. Yeah, they're really like just observing so many things. The Magician. This is their mind blown. I see them standing here looking up in awe, like they're mind blown. Like they're realising who they really are. That they're a magician. This could be them understanding that we all are these co-creators with the divine. That they're understanding the powers that we all hold, that they hold, that you hold. Like this could be what has really sort of shattered their old perceptions of what is possible, what isn't possible, what is possible, you know. You've like demonstrated, I feel like this magician is you as well, like you've demonstrated your own powers and you're very skilled in so many different ways. You're a powerful empath. You could be very psychic. You could be very practical. You could be very emotionally balanced. You're like this really old soul. This is how they're perceiving you, as like really wise. And they're seeing how you conduct yourself, how you live your life. They could possibly see you overcoming immense challenges, having a very powerful mindset, all of these things, but also it's like something that's very divine about you, so divine, so spiritual, so otherworldly, so to speak. And this is what's made them know that so much more is possible in reality than what perhaps they previously perceived was possible. You've broken down these barriers. You've shattered some sort of barriers in their perception of what is possible, you know, when it comes to reality. So I see them standing there, here, like in awe, just looking up or observing you as well, observing, you know, in their own mind's eye and intuitively what's going on within them, what's going on within your bond. You're weaving these whole new perspectives of seeing so many things, I feel. And it's really, really profound. I feel like partly they've come into your life. One of the many reasons is so that you believe in yourself as well. You believe in your capabilities a lot more as well. But you make them feel so excited, like they feel so attracted to you. They feel so drawn to you because you just are turning them into who they really are. Any layers of doubt, because what I'm also seeing falling away is some sort of limiting beliefs about what's possible when it comes to themselves. They're realizing they are this magician. They're very powerful. They're realizing these spiritual aspects, that they're an alchemist, that they create their reality in many ways. They could be excited. I see it's almost like an altar as well. They could be doing spiritual practices. They could be meditating. Definitely they're observing. They're definitely going inwards. This is like the divine presenting this whole new beginning, because this is the divine coming in with this giant seed of the new beginning. This is the wands coming towards them from the divine. They know, I'm seeing this very clearly right now. They know, or they knew right from the start, that the divine was bringing you into their life for very profound reasons. They may have known this before you consciously knew this. And I feel it's because they were observing you in some sort of way, or they had some sort of access to be able to observe you. So they were. And they had this deep, profound, huge lightning moment that crumbled their whole way of being, and they were observing you like they knew. They felt this held so much high levels of significance, so that may be why they knew before you did about the bond. You could have been demonstrating your skills. Maybe you were in the limelight like the magician, or you were just in some sort of position where they were observing or able to observe you. Because the magician's normally on stage, or people are observing them and they're amazed. You know, I'm seeing, you know, just like a magician that comes to your table in a restaurant or something, and they're doing all of these tricks and they're amazing, like their audience, like how, and the audience is thinking, how have they done this? How have they done that? Like it's making people think that it's like opening their mind that more is possible than what they perceived, or they don't know how certain amazing things are done. So they're thinking this about you as well, like, how is it that you do what you do? How are you? How is it that you are the way that you are? Or you're psychic and you know things, and they're like, how do you know all of these things? Or how are you this wise? Many things, I feel. They're observing, and it's totally rewiring and reconstructing their perception of reality and so many different things, I feel. And they're just so curious. There's this divine, deep level of curiosity as well, drawing them forwards. into deeper activation and awakening. Look, the Eight of Wands in this deck now. This is confirming that you met each other to become one. The Magician is the number 1 card. This is a mirrored energy, like you were sent into each other's lives for this huge wake-up call. And by that I mean a huge initiation into a higher timeline, deeper levels of yourselves. To do with empowerment with the Magician here, I've risen this card up because there's a focus here on one of the many reasons why you've met each other is to become empowered within yourselves, maybe in slightly different ways, maybe in some very similar or the same ways as well, but this is your higher, a deeper aspect of your higher selves coming in and grounding into your human selves. Very much involving you becoming much more powerful, consciously aware of the power that you have in this human form when it comes to your own lives and helping others, helping the collective as well. And also the Eight of Wands is about this powerful movement forwards. There's a lot of telepathic communication. This is them receiving you, your souls broadcasting out your feelings, your thoughts, what's really going on with you, and their souls doing the same. You're receiving their essence, their presence. This is like deep soul presence through energetic oneness. Movement. You've met each other for great movement into higher, more empowered versions of yourselves. You both like want this movement as well. Eight of Wands. You both want oneness. You both want to feel close. We have the Page of Swords. So, yeah, breaking through many veils of illusion, great clarity coming in. This is like the beginning stages of just feeling so energized. And like I said, excitement, the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. I do feel as though they really look up to you. Page of Swords and the High Priestess. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune this is fated, it's destiny. It was a powerful soul agreement at the perfect time. You've met to help each other out of some sort of limiting beliefs or limiting cycles that were going on in repeat subconsciously. It's like being stuck on a merry-go-round, going round and round and round and round. Some sort of patterns, some sort of pain. Clarity, great clarity comes through your bond. The yin and the yang energies. I'm hearing pillars of strength. You're pillars of strength to each other. And your bond together, it creates the foundation. You activate each other. It's what opens this portal. High Priestess is always sitting in front of a veil, leading through the gateway into the infinite. But it's like, to me, it's the infinite, it's the internal world. The infinite universe within yourselves. And I'm just noticing the arrows on this wheel. It's like they're concentrating on you, thinking of you. All of their energies are going towards you. You are equally thinking of them, and all of the arrows, all of the energies going to them. There's a youthfulness, there's an inner child, I feel, that was buried within this person. Now it's coming back to life. It's a vulnerability. You could witness like their pure soul shining through, cracks in their armor, but in a good way. Like they want to be free. They want to be their vulnerable self. It does, trigger up the fears of the ego, the protective self at the same time. Wheel of Fortune. They're so happy, okay? They feel like the luckiest person in the world to be experiencing such a rare experience. Because this is rare, okay? A lot of people, unfortunately, can go through life and never have these great moments of a wrecking ball kind of coming in and smashing their old limiting perceptions and them having a great awakening. They feel very lucky and very happy and joyous, and they're thanking their lucky stars, or they're thanking the divine for having made your paths intersect and become one, initiating this absolutely phenomenal experience. They're so excited to be experiencing something so deep and meaningful. Like their soul deep down has always longed, even if they didn't consciously realise, they've longed for great depth, great meaning. This is someone that's very passionate. They have these depths of their own being. They're very passionate, and it does shine through in their life in many ways. But I feel like there was this pain from childhood that caused them to protect themselves. So subconsciously, their liberated, desiring heart got buried or numbed out or stuck behind walls and sort of forgotten. That you bring their passionate self, the passionate desires of their soul back to life, where they feel they are experiencing this great depth and meaning that they've always longed for. They've longed for a meaningful life that makes a huge difference. A lot of their desire to have a very meaningful life is to make a great, huge, profound difference in the lives of others. This is that soul legacy that they want to leave. They want to weave their soul into this world, because you are both these light workers that agreed to come into this world to do that exact thing, to help uplift the collective, plant seeds that then grow into high vibration that expands and into the collective. This is the adventurous soul within them. Like they're ecstatic, okay? They're over the moon because this is a confirmation to them and to you, because there's some sort of wounds where they felt overlooked, or they felt undervalued, or they didn't feel like they were special or deeply recognised for who they really are as that incredible soul. And so they feel so blessed that they feel it's a confirmation, and it is a confirmation from the divine, that they are an incredible soul, that they're a very important soul, because they are experiencing something so rare, so deep, so meaningful with you in this bond. Very special. They consider this to be a very, very incredibly special moment in time, experience in time. It is part of their legacy. It is like a living thing, like a monument reflecting that they're an old soul, an incredibly powerful soul. And it could seem like, oh, that's all ego and it's a negative thing, but it isn't. In truth, we all need certain amounts of like validation. A lot of the time we discover who we really are through the reflection we see of ourselves through others. the portal. It's the gateway, which this is. They long, they have so much desire, and this is on the deep soul levels. It could feel very erotic as well. It could lead to a lot of passionate feelings, like sexual feelings as well. I'm telling you, this bond just brings you to life and them to life on all these different levels. It's a very sensual experience, but they long to dive into your depths. That sounds quite dodgy, but the depths of your soul, like, they could see, you could have this great recognition of each other, you're mirroring each other. They could see you as quite guarded as well, like there's the depths of your soul that are just longing so deeply to come out and be expressed and live in this world. Like, definitely a mirroring of the subconscious suppression of your own inner child, your own soul. So they could see themselves in you and vice versa. They could see you're very deep but maybe somewhat guarded because you've experienced a lot of wounds in your life. So, but they really want to move through that portal, which is move into your inner world. They want to like prove themselves to you or demonstrate their love or be there for you in whatever ways that they can be, so that you open up to them and let them in. They want to experience, they feel like just knowing you, it could be how you perceive the world, how you speak about reality, how you are very spiritual. They feel that, or they know that you are like this doorway, you are this portal, them knowing you, them being so deeply connected to you. You opening your heart is like you opening the portal, you opening the doorway for them to really experience all of these magical experiences of living a much more spiritually centered life. So they want you to open up to them. They could see that you're very selective about who you allow into your energy, who you allow to really know you. Because you could go through life feeling as though a lot of people, they're just not at that energetic frequency, or they're not in a place in their life where they're able to really grasp the frequency that you are on. They can't really connect with you because it's not their time in life. So you could have felt like the vast majority of the people you've met in life throughout your whole life, you felt a disconnect, like they couldn't really understand you, they could not appreciate what you represent, who you are, your energies, your spirituality. I don't mean that in a judgmental way, it's just that it wasn't there. They weren't at that place or time or frequency to be able to connect with you on those deep levels. So you could have felt like you've sort of lost yourself connecting with certain people in your life, like you were trying to create a connection with others, but subconsciously it meant you were dimming your light, or you were molding yourself to be more like others just to feel some sort of connection, but you lost your true self, or you abandoned your true self in the process. And maybe it wasn't until you were older and wiser, or through a lot of experience, where you started to really understand that you were losing yourself in doing that. So these days you could be selective about who you really allow into your energies, who you allow to really know you and get close to you. And this person you are very much opening the door to, because I feel like they are just on these deep inner levels with you. You drew them into those deeper levels. And it is through this deep soul recognition, but it's also through their desire. They may have been consistent with you and proven to you through their dedication. Again, even if they're not physically present in your life, there's this soul level dedication. You could just feel this, like them really thinking about you all of the time. Your energy is really connecting, your soul's communicating, they're focusing very intently on their inner world and their spiritual reconstruction that's going on now, the spiritual opening that's happening within them. This is like making them move. I'm seeing this like their energies are moving deeper within themselves, and this is where they can really truly meet you, because you are someone that's so deep, you're so connected with your soul, like the core of your being. And this is where you need people to really meet you on those deep levels, because that's your real self. And this person, I feel like they've just been really drawn into the deep levels of their inner self, and they've also something about their consistency and working hard to really meet you on those levels. And so you are one on those levels. They move through the portal, or you open your heart to them. You allow them in because they energize you, and vice versa. It's a reciprocal thing, okay? It's not that you're just wanting to siphon their energies at all. You energize each other, but they energize you because they really meet you on those deeper levels. People, you could feel very drained, and not because, you know, blaming others, oh, they're so draining. I don't mean it like that. What is really draining for you when it comes to most others is you feeling like you have to sort of dim your light, or you have to sort of lower your frequency to sort of meet them on the frequency that they're at. Yeah, that sounds really condescending, but you get what I mean when people, and it's no one's fault, we're all conditioned in this world to be asleep. So it's not necessarily that others are draining, it's how you felt like you had to sort of mold yourself and be someone you're not just to interact with them, which was draining. But there's this sense of them really wanting to meet you on those deep inner levels so you can just be your true self. Or this is why the divine has brought you both into each other's lives. Text message. I feel like there's this deep longing to communicate. It could be the most terrifying thing though, in a way, like this bond, it is delving into the deepest layers of yourselves. You both could be very guarded. We all are in this world, whether we realize it or not, we're all guarded. There's, you know, it just reminds me of some sort of advert. I think it was Toblerone. It said something like chocolate or Toblerone, eating Toblerone like no one's observing you, like no one's seeing you, like you're all alone or whatever, you know. What I'm trying to say is we all have who we really are that nobody really sees. We're only ever really our true selves completely when we're alone, in our own alone time, that sort of thing. But this is like the deep inner levels where your souls are connecting. Maybe not you're totally like, this is completely who I am, but on much deeper levels, your true, much more truer, authentic selves are connecting, your souls. So naturally, this is like, you're both, nobody's really all that used to being deeply authentic to this degree, I feel. So there's this deep level of authenticity and therefore deep level of vulnerability, that soul oneness, you know, the aspects of yourselves that can't veil the truth. You move through each other's portal, so to speak. Your souls are interacting. Like, if you are able to really tune in, and it can take some effort, some work, some time, because there's this sense in this bond, you're both trying to figure out how is the other person feeling, what is going on here, trying to discern the energies. But there's a lot of mental energy. But when you can sort of move beyond the mental grasping for the answers, because the answers are only known through the felt intuition, that inner knowing. When you can let the grasping of the ego to try and make sense of everything, when you can sort of let that subside somewhat, then it opens a portal, and you can feel deep down, you both always had the answers within you. You both can feel exactly how the other person's feeling about you. You feel the vulnerable inner child within each other. You feel the raw, like, desires of the soul that you both have for that oneness with each other. You can sense the passion, you can sense the desire, you can sense everything real. You can sense everything that's going on. It's only in moments of impatience where the ego's trying to grasp the answers that muddies the waters, and you can't see clearly, you can't feel clearly. So getting back to this text message, it's like definitely observing you and each other through the phone, I feel, through social media. There is a desire for communication, I feel, especially with the Eight of Wands coming out twice. But like I said, this is kind of, it feels very vulnerable because your souls are connecting on those deep, vulnerable levels. On that energetic level, it feels safe. Like there's no fear of rejection when you're connecting fifth dimensionally and beyond. When it comes to 3D, I feel like there's a fear. Like if you reached out, the other person's, their fear would just cause them to not respond, or there'd be challenges. Emotional. Yeah, they deeply long for you. There's a sadness, like they long to feel close. They long for that embrace. They have a lot of fantasies, a lot of desires. And it's all of the energies of this bond, this oneness, what's going on the soul levels is creating, it's really sparking the imagination and the fantasies. They really, it's like they really long for this like physical expression of their feelings. Let's get one final card. I want you to be so proud of me. So this is, they want you to see them in this incredible light. There could be a fear, like, you know, from a distance, they can be on this pedestal in your eyes, and you can be in this pedestal in their eyes, kind of thing. Your bond is very real. Your souls are communicating just naturally. You just sense each other's thoughts, feelings, emotions, soul desires, fears, etc., etc. So naturally. But yeah, they want you to really recognize them. With the Magician, they want you to adore them. They want you to be impressed by them. This is like the desires of the wounded soul. It's all very natural. And this love is so deep, so profound, that it is, you know, just completely transforming your souls, healing your souls immensely over time. Liberating the imprisoned inner child, the imprisoned soul. And this will be happening over time as your connection continues forwards. So if you've appreciated this reading, please consider buying me a hot chocolate by leaving a super thanks comment below. All donations are humbly appreciated. Thank you to everyone who's already donated and sent a super thanks in the comments. It really does mean a lot to me. If this reading has resonated with you, please let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye. Welcome to set of cards number 3. You've chosen the sun and the blue crystal. So this is their true feelings for you today. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is somebody, they feel this protective energy over you. They want to create stability and safety. This is someone who is also taking a lot of self-esteem from being like this provider energy. This is them creating the right conditions for you. I'm hearing for you to feel comfortable. Like they're very aware of your needs. This is someone that's very attentive, someone who pays really good attention. They want to understand what your needs are. And they want to provide for your needs. They want to make you feel comfortable. They want to make you feel safe and secure. This is somebody who deeply cares about you. They want to see you growing and thriving and happy. So this is a very kind energy, very compassionate and generous person who is very considerate of your needs, of your feelings. I see them watching you like closely to figure out what your needs are, how to really provide for you. They want to make a huge difference in your life, okay? They want to be the one who really pays attention, is what I'm feeling. Because they could feel as though you've been overlooked, or you've been hurt, or you've been mishandled in your life, or you've just felt very misunderstood or kind of invisible. This is somebody who is really, really paying attention. This is one of the main ways in which they're showing you how much they love you. There's like this dedication to them, really, really paying attention, really, really observing you, listening to you, you know, actively listening. This is somebody who their mind, it's like they're moving to this whole different frequency when they're listening to you, where their mind really retains the information, a lot of information, a lot of like specific details of things that you say. Or they observe you, they observe what you surround yourself with, or they're very observant, okay? They can pick up on your emotions, things that you say and things that you don't say. They're very intuitive, okay? And they're observing you with this intuition. They're retaining a lot of specific details and information, and they're planting seeds. They're doing things. They're surrounding you with things that make you feel comfortable. So if they know that you like certain things, they're surrounding you with those things, if that makes sense. There's this dedication, there's this hard work, because they are very serious about growing this incredible bond with you. And this is so much love that they're putting into everything. And I just see them planting all of these seeds amongst a really vast field, which is the vastness of your bond. And they're creating the right conditions, and they're maintaining the right conditions. You know, they're nurturing this garden, they're nurturing you in whatever way that they can. They're nurturing your bond. And I see it's really healthy. There's this really healthy love. This is someone that is very mature and balanced, and they want to create that stability for you so that you can grow. It's like they're creating the right conditions for you to be able to really grow into the greatest version of yourself. They deeply, genuinely love you. It's like an unconditional love where their biggest happiness is seeing you thriving and seeing you happy. They may know that you've been through a hell of a lot of challenges, a or a lot of devastation. They're helping you rebuild. I just saw the image of the tower. You could have been through tower moments where older or outdated versions of yourself and your life have fallen away, and they're helping you rebuild in the light. And yeah, they're a very dedicated soul. This could make you feel really safe with them. This could make you really love them. This could make you deeply respect them. This is like the kindness of who they really are shining out. This is like an action card. Like they're taking these actions. They could be doing small things and big things to demonstrate their love, you know. Talk is cheap, as they say, but what I mean is, you know, they're taking action. It demonstrates their love. So this person, they know it's an infinite bond. They're in this for the long haul. We have the 7 of Cups. So yeah, they're observing you. Sometimes they could feel perhaps a little bit confused or a little bit in the dark. For some of you, there could be complications when it comes to direct communication. So, but they're observing a lot of things. They're observing lots of different aspects of you, I feel, as well. Like they're seeing these different sides to you. They find you fascinating. They want to know more, okay? They want to know everything about you, but they feel like there's a lot about you. They see you as very ethereal. These cups are up in the air. It's like, again, there could be a lot of space in your bond. Like maybe you're not together physically, but there's a lot of space for a lot of contemplation. They're thinking of you, imagining you, you know, wondering about you, what you're doing on any given day. They're wondering about mysterious things. Like, again, sometimes they could feel somewhat confused, or they catch hints about certain things. Like I said, they observe things that you say, things that you don't say. They're trying to read between the lines. They're trying to intuitively tune into you and your energies. Sometimes they could feel uncertainty as well. Maybe they think worst case scenarios at some points as well, because traditionally some of these cups are filled with positive and some are filled with more negative things. They're wondering, they're curious, okay? And this connection, it's so like otherworldly. You really know each other from beyond this false matrix, so it just naturally takes them into these higher dimensions. And I'm hearing a message here from Spirit that there could be some sort of physical separation, because it is making that room for contemplation. It is making that room for mindful reflection. There's some sort of emphasis that this bond is about helping you both really anchor into your true identity of the infinite soul. And that requires a lot of introspection, mindful reflection, aligning. It's like this hypnotic, magnetic energy that just takes you both into this contemplative realm, intuitive realm. And as you both return to that over and over and over, because you really regard each other, and this bond is so holy and so sacred, that you return to a lot of memories. They're living memories though, okay, I'm hearing, like they're not from the past. Technically, on this planet, in this lifetime, they could be things that were in the past, in quotation marks, but they're living memories. Like they're still on certain dimensions, deeper dimensions, they're still active. They're happening right now. It's hard to put into words. But these memories are very much alive in their mind. These memories are really like bridges to deeply connect with you. They relive a lot of things. let's clarify this Seven of Cups. The Page of Swords. Again, this thinking energy, swords of the mind, swords of the perception. Traditionally, it shows them on kind of rocky ground. They're observing you, okay? They're observing you in the 3D in whatever way that they can, but they're also very much observing you psychically, telepathically, again, tuning into your energies. There's some sort of paradoxical or duality kind of energy here. Traditionally, I see this as they've got one foot forward, they're facing forwards, their chests facing forwards, but then they've got one foot in the past, and this is like some are filled with positive, some are filled with negative. So there's some sort of, I feel like it's uncertainty. There's a purity with the page within this person's heart. They are a pure soul. This could be the main reason, like, why you love them so much. Their inner child, like, really shines through so powerfully. They are this bright, shining light. But I feel like it's uncertainty. Like, they don't know where they stand sometimes, I feel. It's like I said, they're normally standing on rocky ground. So they observe you a lot because they're trying to find out how you think, what you're thinking about them, how you feel about them. But they're always there, okay? You could really feel their presence at all times. That could provide a lot of comfort for you. That could provide an immense sense of safety. They care very much about your well-being. Three of Cups. They're very happy, okay? This is someone who's so joyous to share something so significant with you. This is a divine mission that you are on together. It's you, your person, and the spirit guides all working together. They're constantly observing this as well. They're constantly tuning into this healing place. It's the inner world that mindful reflection takes them into the inner world where you are one, where spirit guides are there. It's very healing. It feels very real. It's nurturing their true self. It's where they connect so profoundly with their true self, and they're just so happy, okay? They take very seriously this hard work, this dedication is to do with this spiritual mission or soul purpose that they know that you both share as well. This brings them so much joy, because I also feel like they felt very overlooked in their life in certain ways. People could very much recognise their accomplishments, but this person is so deep. There's these much deeper and deeper layers of themselves as well. There's all these aspects of themselves that they also felt were overlooked. People couldn't see them. I do feel like you've both experienced trauma in your childhood where you had to retreat into yourselves. There could have been emotional unavailability surrounding you, so that caused you to go inwards to the safe sanctuary within. Subconsciously you were connecting with the spirit guides that you always have, but now they're just so happy because there's these much deeper aspects of who they really are and what they're really capable of are really coming to the forefront. They're really working from these deeper levels. They feel deeply recognised, deeply seen for who they truly are. Like, they love you so much. They're so happy because you really understand and recognise the fullness of their being. This makes them feel fulfilled, that wholeness, so much more. And you fill them with great confidence to embrace these deeper aspects of themselves that they were insecure about and felt subconsciously this need to hide. Because you're both very unique. You're both light workers. You're both highly sensitive, very psychic. You both know You've always known, including this person, they've always known that they're this incredible soul, incredibly powerful soul, the energies of the soul, who they really are. But we're in a world where that kind of thing, especially in the past, was never really spoken about. Five of Swords. I feel like sometimes they worry that they're being pushed away or abandoned in some sort of way, that this is like the defeat energy. Let's clarify. Sometimes I feel they feel deflated. They feel uncertain, unsure, like that paradox. I feel like sometimes they feel so high and so happy, and then sometimes they feel deflated, like maybe you burst their bubble, or they're wondering if you're rejecting them or something. We have the Knight of Pentacles again. So mirrored energy. You're very dedicated to them. You're very dedicated to the bond. You love them very much so. They do have this intense worry. They do have this intense fear that you don't love them, or that you're falling out of love with them, is what I'm feeling. There's this central sort of like insecurity about that, I feel. I just noticed there's a path here. It's like a crossroads as well. I feel like, yeah, they're observing you a lot. I feel like sometimes they want some sort of reassurance. I feel it's because you're very mysterious, or maybe you could be avoidant somewhat. Like 1 minute you are like really opening up to them, and then the next you're super independent or something, and maybe they feel left in the dark, or left out in the cold sometimes, or they're just uncertain sometimes. But I feel like you're also very, very dedicated to them and this bond, and they want to know that you genuinely love them. You could be like aware that they feel insecure about how you feel about them at times. They don't want to feel as though you're just reassuring them because you're worrying about how they're feeling. They want to know that you genuinely do really love them, which you really do. They don't want you to feel responsible for their feelings, and you're just trying to reassure them because you're feeling responsible for their feelings. They want to know on a deeper level that you genuinely do really love them, which you do. Ten of Cups. I'm telling you, this is a mutual love. Traditionally shows the masculine and the feminine standing together, so happy. And there's two children, which is like the inner child within you both, so happy. The children are dancing. This is one of the most positive cards in the whole tarot. It's about you together as one, working as a team, healing, happiness. You've achieved so much. And this is what you both continue to work upon. You work on being so dedicated, planting positive seeds, because you both are dedicated to creating this happiness together, to creating this amazing harmonious bond, this mature bond, helping each other to grow, helping each other to align with your true selves and thrive. This is very real to both of you, okay? But I feel like right from the start, it could be how your connection started out. Maybe they became aware of your bond, or they felt very drawn to you, but they were the one who initially more consciously experienced this or were aware of this, and maybe they felt like they had to really not convince you convince you to love them. It wasn't that. It was like, but they may have felt like you weren't reciprocating initially. But I feel it was more like this bond was unfolding in your subconscious initially. You could have been going through a lot when you first met. This could be what they know about, and they want to create that safety, that they are this protector. So it's more that you are just distracted. But if this is how your bond unfolded right from the start, it started off on that footing where they may have felt as though you didn't feel the same way about them. So that sort of got ingrained like in their mind. But the Ten of Cups is you both just so joyous. There's harmony with this energy. It's a heavenly energy, a divine energy. And you both feel that you're in heaven. You know, they're sort of floating in the sky here. Again, this image of floating, these cups and the Seven of Cups are normally floating up in the air as well. They go inwards to meet you, okay? You meet each other. Maybe you could be hyper independent. I feel it's a self-defense mechanism though. Again, you could resonate with being somewhat avoidant. Obviously you don't intend to be, but there's this deep subconscious fear of being vulnerable, I feel. A fear of rejection that you might have as well. Because this bond is so intense, it's so deep, so real, like you feel so much love, you feel complete love for each other, that it does mean that the stakes are very high. So there is this emphasis that you meet each other on levels like the fifth dimension and beyond, where there's no such thing as rejection. But it's so much more than that. I do feel as though the divine has laid this whole connection out in ways where, I don't know, I feel like it's just unfolding naturally. I feel in this world it's very rare to experience connections where there is this amount of vulnerability. There's all of this emphasis, you know, relationship psychology, talking about the different attachment styles and that. And there's always like this emphasis about having secure attachment and being vulnerable. But let's be honest, when we look around at people and their relationships, how many people are in relationships where they're really, really honest and they're talking from the depths of their true selves? And I feel as though that's incredibly rare. But there's like this push or emphasis to be like that, and yet I feel it's like extremely rare, much more rare than people make out. Because I feel like most people in this world don't even really know who they truly are. A lot of people haven't been through a spiritual awakening. They're very much caught up in the illusions of the false matrix, and they're operating from those levels. This is a connection where you really are connecting from the deepest levels of your hearts and souls. So it seems like a paradox, you know, if there's these immense fears, if there's physical separation, if you both feel more comfortable or only able to connect mostly energetically, telepathically through your hearts, the telepathy is very strong, okay? It's very real. If you're only capable of connecting in that way, and I'm saying capable for a reason, because I'm telling you, you and your person, you're so deep, but you're in a world where this level of depth is not taught. because most people aren't operating from this level of depth. So you could resonate with, when it comes to relationship psychology, it's like trying to push you into something that you would actually feel was more shallow if you were to do things the right way. I'm hoping that makes sense. But what I'm trying to emphasize is you and your person, you're connecting from the true depths of your soul, the true depths of who you really are, in a world where that really isn't done, or that is extremely rare. So you've not really been taught how to be comfortable in that sheer level of vulnerability. But it isn't, you know, if your divine masculine is like worrying that you don't love them, or you're hyper independent at times and it means you're rejecting them, that isn't the case whatsoever. I feel it's more like this is just how you're used to, like, living like that. You're just used to being, you had to be like super like independent. You just felt alone because no one could reach you at those depths. And I feel like this is also why this person is so drawn to you, because the way that your connection is playing out, it allows them all the space in the world to also, how do I put it into words? All the space in the world to contemplate. I feel like you're both just naturally so contemplative. You're so introspective. This is where you really come alive. And this bond, it creates that expansion. Your inner worlds are one, but it's like the infinite. You're in the space of the infinite together. So you don't feel caged. It's almost, well, it is. I was going to say it's almost like you're such higher dimensional souls that in this world you naturally just feel like you're in a cage. We're in a cage of like the human body. You know, they're trying to connect man with machine. Someone's already succeeded with connecting the soul. They're trying to connect the soul with machine, if they haven't already done that. But someone's already succeeded in connecting the soul with the human body, which is a biological machine, which is a kind of imprisonment of the soul already. So you're both so deep, you're so high dimensional that you already feel exhausted by being like in a human body. So you're connecting on the levels where there's that absolute freedom. You're connecting where you're used to connecting, because you know each other way beyond this lifetime and way beyond the human experience. I know this is like really deep, but you feel this liberation with each other. You're connecting energetically where there's the complete freedom. This is what you're used to, and you're anchoring deeper levels of liberation into your being. Another 10. Wow. So this is you both, it's like 10 out of 10. Like, this is the ultimate like experience, the ultimate love, because it is so holy. It is so in alignment with who you really are. You're both just so used to not being your true selves for the most part in life. Yes, there could be aspects of your true self that definitely shine through, but we're in a world where we're all pressured to be like the false self, pressured to conform, pressured to be certain ways. We're told, we're bombarded with direct but mostly indirect messages, programming to believe we should be and that we are Very limited. It's a very limited perception of who we really are. Just seeing an image of like adverts, just adverts, you know, between programs, you know, programming the mind. The adverts are full of all kinds of stereotypes about how we should be living our lives, to the point where the stereotypes are just constantly there and broadcast like we take for granted that that is how life should be. That's just the way it is. But this is incredible. They feel so joyous, you both do. This is another card emphasizing how you both are just so ecstatically happy because you feel this complete alignment. You just click together. It's just completely right. Because it's your souls, your soul family. This is all about family. This is you surrounded by spirit guides, maybe other soul family members in your daily lives as well, for some of you. But this is like the spiritual aspect. This is about you and your person and your inner child within you both. This is your bond. This is the romance of your bond. But then this is like the family surrounding your bond as well. So much joy. Both of these cards are so joyous. And there's this feeling of completion, not in the sense of, you know, your journey's complete with each other, because it's not. It's an infinite bond. You're infinitely walking down the path together of ever increasing alignment with your souls, ever increasing ascension, higher levels of consciousness, like I said, anchoring deeper levels of liberation into your being in a world which does feel like a prison. I'm not saying it's all bad at all, but you are connecting with the infinite souls in a body that is very limited. You could adore, you know, this divine masculine is highly sensitive, okay? In a way, and I don't mean this to sound horrible, you're not trying to manipulate them into feeling this way, because you understand that this connection always has to be about purity, you really coming from your heart and your soul. But in a way, and again, I don't mean this in a bad way, them kind of feeling insecure and uncertain, it could make you feel reassuring. And I know that sounds bad, but again, you're not purposely trying to manipulate the situation. You're not purposely trying to make them feel insecure or anything like that. But there could be this truth where if they're worrying about you and how you feel about them in a way that makes you feel secure, more secure in the bond, because they really care about how you feel. But again, I'm trying to emphasize this. I don't mean it in a bad way, like you're trying to manipulate them to be like this, because you're not. But you could adore them. Like, them worrying, it kind of like confirms to you their deep love for you. Divine Feminine, maybe sometimes you worry, but you're someone that could always have this pressure or feel pressured or feel more safe or more comfortable to always come across as being secure and strong and confident and independent. And I'm not saying that you aren't all of those things, because you are, but you also have your moments of fears sometimes and anxieties, but you're more likely to not to show them. You're more likely to hide. When you're feeling those moments of feeling all over the place, anxieties in general or within this connection, you could be the type of person who just hides that you're going through that and making out on the surface that everything's fine and that you're strong and that you're completely capable. Whereas I feel in a way, like the divine masculine is more courageous. They're more honest because they wear their heart on their sleeve a lot more. They allow you to see a lot of the time when they're feeling insecure, whereas you could be someone who hides it. Springtime renewal. This is a wonderful energy as well. This is an opening. This is a nourishment. There is some sort of breakthrough. I do feel as though your connection goes through a lot of cycles. I feel like your divine masculine goes through a lot of cycles of, like, 1 minute really feeling anxious about you, maybe feeling like you're pulling away or something, and then feeling reassured, because this to me is definitely a feeling reassured energy again. This is like the sun rising, the sun breaking through, and the flowers coming out. The flowers blossoming, opening. I imagine them starting to turn to face the sun. Springtime renewal. So there's some sort of emergence, some sort of immense growth or breakthrough or new beginning here, I feel like overall there's this slow and steady movement into you feeling closer to each other. The divine masculine feeling reassured. But it sounds like a paradox. I do feel like there's this overall trajectory of your bond where there is this individual like empowerment that's happening, or you're being called to become more confident when you're within yourselves as individuals without looking to each other too much for that reassurance. You're more than happy to provide that reassurance to each other, but there's some sort of progression here where you're becoming more independent in terms of becoming self-assured, not needing so much reassurance from each other all of the time, or some sort of immense healing where you don't take it so personally, and you just know that the other loves you completely, because you do love each other completely. Yeah, there's this huge leveling up. I'm telling you, I'm really feeling this. And it is more independence. Does not mean at all that you're abandoning each other whatsoever. There's a maturing. I'm seeing a maturing of the bond, a maturing of you both into just feeling more self-confident, self-esteem. It's like the inner knowing is just anchoring into you both. Divine Feminine, I feel like this inner knowing has been anchoring into you very profoundly over the past few months, maybe over a year. Maybe the Divine Masculine fears you like moving on from them, which isn't the case. You've transformed. They're feeling that you've transformed. I feel like you've overcome anxieties. You've overcome fears of, oh, what if the Divine Masculine doesn't love me? What if the Divine Masculine forgets about me? There was some sort of insecurities within yourself, Divine Feminine, that you've worked through. And I feel like you don't really have much fear. But the Divine Masculine could worry that maybe you don't care. So what I was saying before, maybe it's the same for them. You know, I was saying like, when you know that they're worrying, it kind of reassures you that they still really love you. Maybe because you're not worrying so much, you're confident, you know that the Divine Masculine loves you completely. You're not worried about them not loving you. Maybe they're feeling that shift within you, and it's like giving them a little less reassurance because you're less worried, if that makes sense. But you're both leveling up. 100. I said 10 out of 10. 100% now. This is how you both experience this bond. There's some sort of immense life transformations as well. I feel like you're both leveling up. Divine Feminine, I feel as though you're leveling up in terms of moving into a higher timeline, walking through a new door, a new chapter of your life. Very much has been about you healing immense things, like I said, over the last few months or over a year. How are they truly feeling about you? Hurt. Okay. So yeah, I feel you moving into more independence. You're not abandoning them, but they could feel or fear that you're abandoning them. Which isn't the case. Joint mission. I'm telling you, your path continues. They know this as well deep down. Everything about your connection is real. Everything you've already achieved and built up together is real. This isn't a bond where suddenly you just forget about each other and it's over. This is a lifelong bond, okay? This is a lifelong love. And they know this deep down. Let's clarify this hurt further. What is this hurt about? Knight of Wands. The Devil, Two of Cups. They feel like they fear you like moving on, I feel. They fear the thought of you loving someone else. Or they just fear you moving on in general with this Knight of Wands here. But you always love this person. This is like the fears that you both have. I'm not trying to imply like Divine Feminine, you're completely healed and you're completely over these fears, because it's like a lifelong journey to ever increasing vulnerability and openness. But this is traditionally the devil, a masculine and feminine chained to the devil. So this is your shadows. You're continuing to move forwards together, working through these shadows, okay? You're continuing to open your hearts to each other. You are the Two of Cups. It's making me think of the Five of Cups, because normally it shows 3 cups spilled over and then 2 cups still standing upright. So they fear loss. They could be so focused at times and looking at metaphorically 3 cups spilled over. It represents them thinking worst case scenarios. But this is a continual journey of like working through the blocks, the fears, the shadows, and opening your hearts more and more to each other. There could be transformation, like obviously, because this is a lifelong like bond throughout your lives, throughout the years, throughout different stages of your maturity, you know, throughout the decades. Obviously the connection, the love is always going to be there, but the connection is going to evolve, it's going to transform. It's not always going to stay the same, but the love is always going to stay the same. The love is ever increasing. The love between you both, how you feel about each other. But yeah, it's natural for both of you to have fears when things transform. They could feel like this transformation occurring. They could feel you like transforming, and they fear you like moving away from them, but you're not. you walk hand in hand down this path. As you continue with this dedication to immense healing, to immense growth, you deeply understand each other, okay? This isn't anything that you're taking for granted. This deep understanding, this incredible gift of this bond that you share, and how rare it is. So if you've appreciated this reading, please consider buying me a hot chocolate by leaving a super thanks comment below. All donations are humbly appreciated. Thank you to everyone who's already donated and sent a super thanks in the comments. It really does mean a lot to me. If this reading has resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye. Welcome to set of cards number 4. You've chosen the Ace of Wands and the green crystal. So this is their true feelings for you today. We have the Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. Why did I have this feeling that the King of Cups was going to come out? Wow. And I noticed the dolphin in the Queen of Cups, and it's here with the King of Cups as well. There's a lot of telepathic communication. You know how dolphins communicate through the frequencies. This is amazing. This is a joyous eruption of emotions. Just what I'm really feeling when I look at this King and Queen of Cups and how they came out to be facing each other, okay? They could have come out this way, but they came out Queen first and then the King. This is such a holy connection. Like, you just feel, your hearts feel so pure, your hearts feel so full to the point of overflow, because there's just so much healing love, the most soul level nourishing love that you experience together. This is like a holy gift, and you're just both so ecstatic, you're both so happy. The purity of this, it's purifying you both. That purity feels like so much serenity, so much release of heaviness or pain or insecurity. When you both tune into the energies of this love that you share, it's just this eruption of love, this eruption of purity that just pushes out anything that isn't real, anything that's painful, anything that's burdening you, anything that's exhausting you both. The love is pure. There's this powerful sense that you can tune into this right now together. They feel this pure love for you as you do for them. I'm just really soaking in. I'm just really feeling like how healing this is, how serene this is, glowing. And I'm just seeing your hearts like emptied of any density, any shadows. There's just this purity, pure light, pure freedom. This is what you feel with each other. The ecstasy is like this pure freedom. This is what you tap into each other. I'm seeing an image of this love just takes you into wholeness, into completeness, into complete purification. And you keep returning to this, you keep thinking of each other, you keep being magnetized into your inner worlds together, this place of complete purity. And this is continuing to cleanse your souls, to cleanse you of anything that's been exhausting you, is what I want to say, because you've both been so afraid in this world. You've both been so fearful to be vulnerable, you felt very exposed, you felt this need to have so many barriers up because this world is threatening. With each other you can just be. That purity is a sanctuary of complete embrace and complete love. It's the purity of the inner child within you both, which I use interchangeably with your soul. Pure souls. No need for defenses. There's this complete relaxation. There's this complete, when you're able to really align with this, sometimes it takes work when you both have fears and anxieties about your bond in the mind, in your minds, but when you're able to really just be present, be totally aligned, be in that heart space together of this complete purity, you're both completely set free. You're both so happy. You both feel so loved. You're both totally free to love. And you both really feel this. And it's absolutely heaven on earth. It completely heals like your nervous system. And really I'm seeing that you've both been so anxious, so overwhelmed, so exhausted by constantly being hyper vigilant in this world with defences up. But there really is this safe sanctuary that you both are able to connect with together in the core of your hearts, in the core of your souls. And in that place, it's just so much light, it's just so much energy, it's so much peace. This is you like completely reconnected with Source within the core of your being. You both experience this, you both love each other completely, you know, it's beyond that, it's beyond emotions, it's beyond thoughts, it's like the nature of your souls, that completion, that wholeness. It just is, that oneness, it just is. And when you're able to, it like really plugs you into that isness. That which is real, that which is devoid of any sort of distortions that are plentiful in this world. It's that complete stillness of truth. It's so incredibly healing. Actually, I want to move on to a different deck. There's an increased heart opening that is about to occur between you both. There could have been this time of independence, more independence recently. But there's definitely an opening up, an increased intimacy, increased communication between your hearts. And I really see that is amplifying this joy within your hearts. It's amplifying the aura, amplifying that safe sanctuary where you feel this complete purity. So there's this deep soul level contentment that you're moving into. You both tangibly feel this. This is when you're both glowing. It's like you're sparkling, you're glowing, you're buzzing. There's this really high vibration. You could feel like you're buzzing with excitement. It feels like ecstasy. It feels like, you know, you are one. It's like the openness, all of your cells, every fibre of your being, physical, mental, soul, energetic, is like open and alive. And it's like flowers I see opening. You're open and receptive to the love of the universe. You're open and receptive to everything that is real, the infinite. And it expands you both, your just the fullness you're filled with love, all aspects. And in those moments, you're both so ecstatically happy because you feel so at one with each other, like you're both buzzing. Those moments when everything feels heightened, you could literally tangibly feel this fullness, like all of this high vibration filling up every aspect of you, including your auras, and you're in this bubble of tangibly felt ecstasy together. And in those moments, you're so connected, the telepathy is so strong. It's like when you're both completely reassured, you both completely know that the other is totally in love with you. Then when you really meet in those moments, you really are like one, and you're both floating on cloud 9, and no matter what you're doing, you feel very, very close in those moments. You feel each other's presence at all times, and those moments are absolutely wonderful, and I feel like you're about to come into a moment like that. 10 of Pentacles. This is a very stable energy. It's all about soul family, you knowing that your soul family. This is that wonderful glowing energy. You know, I'm imagining being out in nature, in a valley. This tree is in a valley, and you know how the air moves through a valley. You're in those moments, you're so heightened, the moments of connection where you're open and receptive. You're so, you feel everything much more deeply. You feel the universe more deeply. So I imagine you're like this tree, and you're open, you're blooming, and you're feeling like the air, you know, like the wind, how it moves through a valley. You're feeling the divine's caress. I want to say, like, the infinite caressing your souls, that powerful presence of the divine. You're able to reach or hold yourselves in higher levels of consciousness, openness, receptivity, and you not only feel like so at one with each other, you feel so at one with soul family or spirit guides, higher dimensional beings that are always with you. It's like you can feel everything much more heightened. In those moments, you could have profound downloads, profound clarity come through. It's like an absence of anxieties or anything that sort of distorts the mind or clouds the judgment, or it's like the absence of distractions. And life is, you know, full of like challenges and different things in different moments where we could be worrying about this, or not just worrying, we could be concentrating on other things, but then there's moments where there's this breakthrough where you're really, both of your focus is mostly on each other. The roots run so deep within your bond. There's a stability, strength in this bond, unbreakable bond. Because there's the roots, you know, like you're in this earth realm right now, but I also see like the leaves, the branches, it's like the heavenly dimensions are very much balanced in this connection. Like the worlds, the dimensions have collided. Like you're walking around in this world, you're grounded in this world, but you're also very much in the higher dimensions. Strength, I'm telling you, to confirm. Very strong bond. And now with this palm tree, there's like a flexibility. I was going to say, like, you cannot uproot this connection. Imagine all of the tools, all of the hard work that's required to try and get this tree and all of its roots out of the ground. It's no easy feat. I mean, I know there is like equipment that does that, but you get what I mean. Not easy to uproot this. And now the palm tree, I imagine it swaying. There's a flexibility. So there's a message here of needing to be flexible, because there's movement in the bond, okay? There could be transformation, but the bond endures, okay? The love endures. You're the king and the queen of cups. They love you completely as you love them completely. You're working as a team with the two dolphins. I see two dolphins like riding the waves, like joyously enjoying the journey together. So there could be this need to like tame any sort of doubts. This could be for you, it could be for the divine masculine, or both. Taming the doubts. You have an infinite bond. There's the infinity symbol that is always associated with the strength card. Infinite bond. There could just be transformations going on, which may require flexibility, you know, as the passage of time. Maybe you've known this person quite a long time. As the passage of time continues to move forwards, naturally we evolve as people, the bond evolves, life evolves, everything evolves, everything's in a constant state of flux or, you know, transformation. Everything's always shifting. There could be a fear. It could be like, and this could be like both of you, like a fear. You want to sort of root to the spot. You want to sort of hold on to the way things have always been in the past kind of thing, but have no fear, I'm hearing, because your bond is infinite. Your bond is so strong. You're both incredibly strong. There's just this need to be flexible. Things may be changing in your day-to-day lives, but you still always love each other, basically. Completely. The High Priestess. Again, this is like when you're in balance, it opens up this veil into this higher dimensional sanctuary for so much healing and growth. I just feel called to clarify this High Priestess. Nine of Pentacles. There's some sort of gateway opening where so much abundance is coming in. Again, I feel like this joyousness. We have the 9 and the 10 of Pentacles. Both extremely positive energies. Very wholesome energies. They're the higher numbers. There's a lot of pentacles in both of these cards. You've been tending to this connection. The seeds you've planted are growing into these wonderful flowers. Again, just feeling so connected with each other, so connected with the divine. This bird to me is like higher dimensional energies from each other and your spirit guides really coming through. And the High Priestess is smiling here. I feel like an immense contentment, an immense serenity. Like, I see this as you presenting yourselves to the world. So you could be in some sort of roles or in your job or just going about your day-to-day lives, surrounded by others, and you're doing your job. I'm hearing like your spiritual mission, or you're just interacting with others as well. But deep within you, because this veil is like into your inner world, within yourselves. I see you both smiling a lot because within you know that you are one. Even if you're in a physical separation, you are both one. You are both together. This is the feminine and the masculine energy. Just like here, feminine and masculine, you are one. Your hearts are connected. You open your hearts to each other. You love each other. This is what I mean. There's some sort of immense expression of love that is just going to put these broad smiles on your faces, smiling from the soul level right up to your lips, smiling, your eyes smiling. but there's like this private inner world where you're one. People can sense this energy from you, like you're both just glowing so bright, so powerfully. This light is shining out of you. This is the love that you're offering to the world. This is the seeds you're planting into the world, your energies. You bring things to life. You are full of life. You're both full of life, that source, divine energy, and you're weaving this life into the world, into the collective, and it's growing. These frequencies are growing all around you, expanding all around you. And there's just this feeling of being so happy. You both feel so special, like knowing that you're so loved by each other, knowing that you're working together as a team, knowing that you both really understand this very unique bond and this very unique journey that you're walking down together. This just makes you so incredibly happy because you're both very introspective. You could really resonate with keeping who you really are kind of to yourself, within yourselves, but with each other, your true selves. You are embracing. You're not alone in that inner world. You are very much together in that inner world. And it just feels so wonderful. I feel like there's this smile on your face, is like it's kind of amusing in a way that you both know that so much, that you both know this is going on, and it's so profound, it's so mind-blowing, it's so otherworldly, but you both have sort of like these cheeky grins I'm seeing, because you know that nobody else has any idea what is going on within you, what you're really experiencing, and how mind-blowing it is. You know that others wouldn't have any idea that this kind of thing is even possible. And yet you're both experiencing this. This is your daily experience. Let's just move these over. Thrift shop magic, or charity shop in the UK. I just see this as happiness, okay? Like imagine walking into a thrift shop and there's just so many unique items. And there's all these energies. To me, this is about energy. Like when I walk into a charity shop, I can feel like all the energies, because there's so many different people's energies on all of these different items, right? So there's something about all of these energies. You're both just highly sensitive beings. You pick up, and this is one of your greatest gifts, okay? This is how you're helping the collective. You're both very capable as the high priestess energy, both masculine and feminine. You're both very capable of tuning into energies. Like there's something about you both are so charitable with each other. You're so loving, you're so kind and nurturing. You both just know what each other's needs are. Without even words being spoken, you just intuitively know. You could both resonate with being overlooked in your life, but you both are exceptionally skilled in ways that just aren't sort of mainstream things that are spoken about. I'm just tuning into this energy. It's about like finding like treasure, finding something so unique. This is how you feel about the bond. And again, it opens this door. There's this whole variety of energy. There's this whole, abundance of these different energies. And you're both, you know, just very charitable. You're both very giving. This is what makes your connection so wonderful, okay? You really coming from open-heartedness. You opening your hearts to each other. You expressing your hearts. You wanting. You both could resonate with wearing your hearts on your sleeves. Like your whole lives, pretty much. This could be where you've both got really hurt and you can be very cautious because of this. You can be very guarded because of this. But with each other, there's like this great understanding. And for the most part, you really just open your hearts to each other very profoundly. Like on the surface, it could appear like not much is going on. It could appear like you're not opening your hearts. Relationship psychologists would likely say that you're both being avoidant and avoiding vulnerability. But the truth is, this is such a deep bond, such a deep resonance, that it really is your deepest, truest selves that you've subconsciously felt the need to protect your whole lives, is where you're interacting from. So naturally there's going to be that like caution there, those self-protective mechanisms. They are so ingrained because we do live in a harsh world. And a lot of people would be like, well, because there's so many barriers, you should sort of try and move on from each other, blah blah blah. But they don't realise that there's this complete unfolding of your souls going on the deepest core levels. This connection, it really is taking you into that safe sanctuary where there's this great introspection, there's this great discovering, there's this great understanding, there's this great healing of the nervous system. And this is all highly, highly beneficial. So you both have this great understanding that this is like one of the most important things of your lives to be experiencing for tremendous healing. And oftentimes, you know, there's this pressure to just get with somebody where it works more traditionally on that surface level. But that's the thing, it's more of a surface level thing a lot of the time. Because, you know, going back to you and your person always feeling like people couldn't really meet you on the depths of the level of depth that you operate from, where you come from. We have projections and eyes on your own paper. Projections, it's making me think of like Batman, and what was it, like He-Man or something. I think that was right, wasn't it? No, Thundercats. Going back to the 80s, where there's like the projection in the city sky. Help, broadcasting out help. This is, to me, it's talking about you could be at a physical distance from each other. You're not physically together, but your hearts really broadcast beyond space and time. You broadcast projection. It's about light, right? There's some sort of, you communicate on the level of light, sending out a signal, a distress call. I imagine the city, everyone's oblivious, like everyone's going about their daily life, and yet above all of this, higher dimensionally, you and your person, you're connecting like this moon here. Your energies are connecting, but it's in a deeper dimension. The moon often features a lot in the High Priestess as well. This is your souls calling out to each other. This is the deep internal psyche and energies of your souls at one and communicating Eyes on your own paper. I'm just seeing somebody like, this is like symbolically, I see they're daydreaming a lot. I just imagine them doing this exam or some sort of test, but their minds thinking about you, they sort of get lost in a daydream. So they're looking up and sort of looking around, but they're not really looking at what's around them in the room. They're looking at the projections or the images in their mind. And somebody could, I just see someone telling them off, like eyes on your own paper. But really they were just looking around because they're lost in thought. They're lost in the wavelength of frequency that takes you there. Or you could just be busy in your day-to-day lives, and every now and then you can suddenly feel like this, their soul calling to you, or you can suddenly feel that they're really thinking about you, and you become aware of that telepathically in the moment. And sometimes it's wonderful in those moments where you both connect, where you know they're thinking of you in that exact moment, and they know you're thinking of them in that exact moment, and you're communicating, you're right there with each other consciously, like you're very aware of that. Or I just thought, like, at lunchtime, they're getting a coffee, or there's some sort of break they're having at work and they're getting a coffee. And I thought that because of the donuts, like the donut and coffee. Donut hole cake pops. Very interesting, because recently I've been reading this novel where she works in a cafe, and there was emphasis on these cake pops like several times, because that was like her favourite thing. So you are like their favourite thing that they love returning to in their mind, their heart, thinking of you. The Queen of Wands. They find you very magnetic. Queen of Wands is that power. You like power each other. You recharge each other's batteries, okay? There's like this influx or surge of dopamine. It doesn't have to be like negative though. There's this healthy healing, like you have, imagine eating this cake pot, this donut, and the sugar in this coffee. And then it energizes you both. This is like the love. It energizes you both. I'm telling you, you're both so burnt out in this world. You needed this huge influx of light. You needed this huge influx of energy to really transport you, really take you out of low vibrations into a higher timeline. I'm telling you, this light, this energy, it's so healing. Like, it's transformed you both. It really does take you into the light that leads to greater epiphanies, your vibration just completely changing, so your experience, what you manifest, completely changes for the better. Like your lives have so incredibly improved, the internal world, your mental health, your nervous system, all of that, the thoughts in your minds have vastly improved, and that's putting it lightly. Since you've met each other, you needed this. This was a complete change in trajectory in your lives. Into light, into happiness, into clarity, into empowerment, into healing, into feeling safe. Because a lot of your time and energy and all of this distraction was you both feeling so unsafe. But that was getting in the way immensely. I'm going back to the novel I'm reading. She works in a cafe with the coffee and the cake pots, and that there's all this discussion. I feel like they could be speaking excitedly about you, speaking about your bond to someone, to a friend. The Knight of Swords. So yeah, this is like a sharpness of the mind, the sharpness of energy. To me, it's like movement. It's the air element. So again, movement towards you, racing towards you. They're so drawn to you. It's a protective energy as well. Knight of Swords is communication coming in. There's something about this person is bold. This person is courageous to express. It's like they express their feelings to you, like openly in many ways, or they demonstrate their love. They do kind things. They like your hero. In some cases you could really resonate with them being your hero. How are they truly feeling about you right now? Holy Trinity. So, as I always say, this is you, your person, and spirit guides, the divine. I'm telling you, there's just this immense emphasis on purification, purity, holiness, healing energy. This is what you're moving into. This is what your bond represents. This is so incredible. This is all, it's very rare, but this is all a reflection of who you both really are. These incredible souls. You've both known deep down your whole lives that you are these incredible souls. You felt overlooked because there was this instinct to sort of hide who you really are away. But now you're both just really being so much more of who you truly are. And this is what you're thinking about, you know, the magnetizing thoughts that bring you into this inner world. This is the place where you are your true selves. This is the place where you are the fullness of your being. This is the place where you feel so much, you're so proud of yourselves. You're seeing yourselves in extremely positive ways. You're seeing yourselves through the eyes of love. This is just a complete sanctuary of love. Love for yourselves, love from each other, love from your spirit guides and the infinite. And they're just so happy. And again, whether they're at work, whether they're studying, whatever they're doing, when they're moving through the city or town or wherever they live, when they're shopping, when they're running errands, they're thinking of you. They're connecting with you. They have a smile on their face, a smile in their heart. They're just so joyous, okay? So if you've appreciated this reading, please consider buying me a hot chocolate by leaving a super thanks comment below. All donations are humbly appreciated. Thank you to everyone who's already donated and sent a super thanks in the comments. It really does mean a lot to me. If this reading has resonated with you, please let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That all really helps me out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take care. Bye.